Okay, here's our review videos for tonight. I'm gonna go pretty quick since I already did one of these with you, one of each of these with you in class today. With the things that you need to know, wholes are when things cancel. Asymptotes are when they're left and we're looking just at the denominator. Remember, you need to be factoring each of these to begin with. So I'm gonna pause and go ahead and factor all of these. If you don't know how to factor, remember to use your calculator to cheat with you. Okay, so I factored all of these. My excluded values, remember I'm just looking at the denominator. X cannot equal -3. X cannot equal 1. Those cancel, so that means this one is going to be a whole. This is an asymptote. All right, same idea here. Name my excluded values first. Any x that's by itself is 0. X cannot equal 0. X cannot equal +2. Cancel gives me a whole. Cancel again gives me a whole. So no asymptotes there. The last one, x cannot equal 2. X cannot equal -1. Nothing cancels, which means both of these are going to be asymptotes. Okay, again, in class we talked about today, slant asymptotes. You have to have the degree of the top be larger than the degree of the bottom. That means we're looking at exponents. So first of all, you should notice that number 5 is no because the bottom is bigger, not the top. Number 10 is also a no, or there is none slant asymptotes because if you look at the exponents, the top is not bigger, so that's why you're not going to find one. If you have a slant asymptote, remember we did number 6 in class, and the note we made to ourselves is that if you have a slant asymptote, you need to divide. So I'm going to divide. Remember, I need to think opposite, so I'm going to put -2 here. I've got 10, 28, 25. So I'm going to divide. I've got 10, multiply, add, multiply, and, oh, I did that wrong. That's +8. So -16, which is going to give me 9. And my equation is my asymptote. So here, right, you go back and add your zeros, x to the 0, x to the 1. So my final answer is y equals 10x plus 8. That is my asymptote. Okay, multiplying and dividing, remember the same thing. Our first step is always going to be to factor. We did number 10 in class together, so I'm going to skip that one. If you're multiplying, so you need to do excluded values once you factor. All right, that one can be in parentheses. So I've got x cannot equal -10. Think opposite, +6, -7. And then we just want to cancel and combine everything back together. So +7's cancel, -6, so I've got 6x over x plus 10. And you always want to just do a quick double check that there's nothing else that cancels, and there isn't. So there's my final answer. All right, same idea on number 11. I'm going to add some parentheses so that those look a little easier. X cannot equal +10. Same value there, so I'm not going to write it twice. -1. Things that cancel, I've got 10s that cancel plus 1. Everything that I have left is 5 over n minus 10. Double check that nothing cancels, and it doesn't. There's my final answer. Number 12, remember when we have division, we have to change the sign and flip the second one. So I'm going to rewrite n plus 10. I'm going to add parentheses, 7, n minus 4 times, flip this one, so n minus 4 over n minus 3. Over n minus 7, n minus 3. We do need to identify our excluded values. So I've got 3 here. X cannot equal 4 or 7 or 3. And then cancel. So we need to figure out what we have left. So things that cancel, I've got -3s. There we go. And I'm left with n plus 10 on the top. 7 and -7 on the bottom. Do a quick double check that nothing else cancels, and it doesn't. So there's my final answer. All right, this side basically works the same. So instead of working all that out and giving you the same explanations again, I'm just going to give you the final answer for these, including the excluded values, so you can see if you've done them correctly yourself. All right, so those are your answers. If you're getting any of those wrong, my guess is probably going to be that you have factored something incorrectly. So just double check your calculator and see if you can figure out maybe what part went wrong. All right, on this page, remember you need to start by factoring, and then you need to work on eliminating denominators. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the factoring step for you in case you haven't. You need to do that on your own, but I'm going to show you what it is. And then I'm going to work you through eliminating denominators. You should be able to solve after that point, and then I'll tell you or give you what the final answers should be. Okay, so here's me doing number 17. We did 18 together in class. So I've got two denominators that I need to eliminate, x minus 5 and x minus 1. Here, I'll zoom in for us. All right, so I'm going to eliminate x minus 5 first. There's no really right or wrong. I'm just doing that to help us. I know I've switched over between x's and v's. That's fine. All right, so cancel where it cancels. I should probably even add parentheses up there at the top. So I'm going to write what I have left. I have 2x plus 1. I'm going to change everything over to x's. X minus 1 equals, not equals, plus 1 equals x minus 5 over x minus 1. Now I only have one additional denominator to eliminate, and that's going to be my x minus 1. So I'm going to multiply again everything, every single thing by x minus 1. Cancel, 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 cancel. So now I have 2x plus 1 plus 1 times x minus 1 equals x minus 5. Now you're just ready to distribute. So I guess I will do this with you. I'm going to distribute here. 2x plus 1 plus x minus 1 equals x minus 5. Combine like terms. 3x plus 1 minus 1 cancel each other out, equals x minus 5 minus x. So up here, 2x equals negative 5, divide by 2, and it's okay to get fractions. That means my answer is going to be negative 5 over 2. The hardest part about all of that, I know I did that really fast, but the hardest part about all that is going to be this eliminating denominators. Just make sure that you multiply to eliminate and cancel out, and keep doing that until all of the denominators are gone. All right, if we look at 19 here, it's already factored for us. I'm going to add parentheses just to make it a little easier to look at. So I've got two denominators to eliminate. I'll start with the negative 5. So I'm going to do k minus 5. All right, and then k minus 5 here, and k minus 5 here. So cancel where they cancel. I've got 6 plus k minus 3 times k minus 5 over k plus 6 equals 1 times k minus 5. I have one more denominator that I need to eliminate, and that's my k plus 6. All right, k plus 6, k plus 6. Remember, they cancel. So I'm going to be left with 6 times k plus 6 plus k minus 3, k minus 5 equals 1, k minus 5, k plus 6. Now notice that was 2 steps, and now my denominators are completely gone. That's the goal. Now I just need to distribute. Remember, in the middle here, you're going to have to FOIL. And again, on the end, we're going to have to FOIL. Take a second to do that, and then I'm going to write down what your next line should say. Okay, check and make sure that we have all the same pieces and signs. I'm going to go through and combine like terms. So you can put some k terms together. So I'm going to have k squared minus 2k. I also have 36 and 15 that I can put together, and that's going to give me plus 51 equals. All right, same idea on the other side. I've got to do combine my like terms here in the middle. So I'm going to have equals k squared plus k minus 30. You may notice that this one is really going to be nice because my k squareds are going to cancel each other out because they're on opposite sides. And now I'm just moving stuff. So I'll recopy so it's easier to see. Negative 2k plus 51 equals k minus 30. Add 2k. I'm just solving a basic algebra equation now. So we've got 3k minus 30 equals 51. Add 30. You may have solved this a different way, and that's fine. We're going to get the same answer in the end. So 3k equals, 81? And so then if I divide that, if I divide by 3, I'm going to get k equals 27. And the last thing I have to do is always just check, which I even skipped this step, but I need to check, is that either of my excluded values? Here my excluded values are going to be positive 5 and negative 6, and it's not. So k equals 27 is your final answer. All right, my last comment. If you need help on any of the problems on the review, you need to go back and watch your week 11 review video. It is still up on Edpuzzle. You just may have to scroll to the bottom to look for older videos at the very bottom of your screen. But if you go back and look, there is a question exactly like all the questions that you see on this back side.